relax. You're listening to the Hot Science Podcast. Get ready to jam.
This is Brad Cotter,
Matt Forgy,
Matt Livingston,
and you're listening to the Hot Science Podcast. We're here in the lab working hard to bring you the hottest science on the planet. Disclaimer, we are not scientists, but a group of lovable chums who like to talk about what's happening in the world around us with you, our listeners, who are the smartest, most attractive people in the world.
Woo! All right.
Oh man, here we are
Avalanche.
sitting in the basement doing a little hot science.
Hot science.
You guys excited about our inaugural first time ever
Hot
Science podcast?
Sitting
Because
in
we've
the hot
never
seat.
done one before.
That's right.
This is number one.
This is the first one that we have even attempted.
Even attempted at all. Not a single practice.
Oh man. So you heard the intro. What's hot science, guys? What is that?
Now, what is it all about?
What are we doing? Are we talking about science all the time?
no.
No. Not all the time.
But what science?
Sometimes.
What's science, though?
What is science?
It's what's going on in the world, man. We're figuring stuff out. We're bringing it to you, the lovely listeners who have decided to join this podcast and listen to how much you love to hear us talk and say
Listen
things
to-
that you were afraid to say out loud.
That's pretty much what this is going to be.
I hope so.
Yep.
I hope that's at least what they get out of it.
Yeah. Pretty much everyone's going to be like, man, I'm way smarter than these guys. And that's the goal.
That's what the internet was created for.
Truth.
It's for comment boards where people can go, actually, in minute 3:03, when Matt says that, bleh, internet.
Right. Blah. Exactly.
Classic internet.
Guys, you know what my favorite way to start a podcast is?
What?
With a little segment called Interesting Things I Found on the Internet. This segment is where we talk about things that I looked up on the internet that I thought were pretty interesting.
Right?
Story number 1. There's a dude named Mike Hughes who lives in California of the USA.
Mike Hughes.
And he is planning on launching himself 1,800 feet into a rocket that he built from scrap metal.
In a rocket, not into a rocket.
No, he is firing himself
In a rocket.
encased within a rocket that he created from various
Scrap
scrapped
metal.
metals that he has acquired from himself from his mobile command-based center,
His mobile command-based center.
which is just his mobile home.
Where is mobile command-based center
Okay.
for this gentleman?
Mike
It's his
Hughes.
mobile home.
Where is it?
He's in California.
He's in California.
He's in California, and he's going to
Mike
fire himself
Hughes-
over the Mojave Desert as a
Nice.
test run because this guy's got an agenda.
Okay, so this is just a test because he's clearly got more planned.
Mike Hughes has built himself a rocket that he is going to fire out of his mobile home center for science.
For science.
What is the end goal? What is his hypothesis?
Because he can do it.
He's not only can he do it, but he's going to get high enough into the atmosphere
The atmosphere flat?
Flat.
to prove to you that the world is not round. Because he is going to take.
Oh man, he's
this,
a flat earther.
This guy's taking
What?
evidence.
Okay, you
He's
should have started with that.
Because the government's just feeding you bullshit. Baby.
Okay, so
So this guy's going to kill himself over the desert to
for
prove
science,
that the Earth
for
is
science,
flat.
what is his theory? What is his hypothesis? What is going to happen?
Well, basically, he's going to prove because there's no solid evidence that the world is round.
Okay.
Yeah, there's
So
just
this guy's
not
gonna
evidence out there.
His ultimate goal is he's testing this out and he's going to record it, but his ultimate goal is to build another larger rocket that he can send himself into space with
It's called NASA.
and take But NASA's a government, and the government's lying to you, baby.
Well, that's fine. The government's lying, but how are you going to prove to me that the Earth is flat the same way that NASA proves to me that the Earth is fucking round by having
just
a...
Because it's all
basic science.
propaganda, dude. You're just being fed propaganda.
I've
NASA
never
is a-
actually seen a rocket go off. I've never actually been to fucking Canada. I don't know if these places exist. I don't know if these things
true.
actually happen. I just see them on the internet.
He was quoted as saying,
I c-
they have yet to put a man in space. There are 20 different space agencies here in just America, and I'm the last person that's put a man in a rocket and launched it.
He's done it before?
He's done it before. Back in 2014.
Was it himself or another man?
No, he built another rocket out of scrap metal before.
He's done this before, though? He's a seasoned professional?
And he launched himself back in 2014 over Winkleman, Arizona, and he flew a quarter of a mile. So now he's stepping his game up.
How did he land?
How does he land?
Very roughly.
In water? I mean, like, this guy's thing is full of fucking holes, man. It's not...
But he's done it before. That's the scary part. This guy's pulled that off.
I'm still trying to figure out how...
And he still thinks the world is flat.
So this
is a smart man.
If the world is flat and you shoot yourself up straight up in a rocket, what happens?
You get to see that all the things that the government's lied to you about.
You see the whole world.
Okay, anybody who's listening to this, hopefully there's people listening.
It's like looking over a city.
Tell us what happens.
They're listening, and they're beautiful.
I mean, I guess I could just Google it myself, but, someone listening, Google it, email us. What happens?
Well, that's the problem.
If the Earth is flat.
Okay, well, here's the thing.
Okay, also the atmosphere flat.
Yeah.
It's a hilarious thing. Does he actually say
that's the way
instead of atmosphere?
Well, I got this story.
Flat?
This is from the Washington Post. That may be editorializing.
Okay.
I got this from the Washington Post. I read the story from there. They called it the atmosphere flat. I don't know if that's a flat Earth technical term because it wouldn't be an atmosphere.
If it's not a circle, yeah.
Right. So
I just love the idea of calling it the atmosphere flat.
Matt Livingston.
Yeah.
Do you believe that there is any way the Earth is flat? Could that be possible to you?
Could it be
Do you think
these guys have grounds to stand on?
No.
The flat earthers.
I mean, okay, I'm
going to go
It's obviously flat ground.
I'm going to call out. I mean, I'm sure there's. We could just Google this and figure it out. But Neil deGrasse Tyson, send us an email and tell us why the Earth is round. How can we prove that? I mean, besides the.
I'm sure he said that.
I know, but like during the eclipse, like all the elliptical stuff and like the way that light bends and all the weird stuff that happens because shit's round. That's proof to me that the Earth is round. But I mean, I'm not a scientist and I have no,
It's true.
What do you think? What do you think about that?
I don't think there is a chance at all that it's just flat. But I will say, to poke a hole in my own theory, I've been a lot of places and I've always gone straight and gotten there. So I get where they're coming from. Like, it seems pretty flat when I'm traveling, but I also don't think it's flat at all.
The things about
I've also been.
I
was gonna say I've been in the middle of the ocean on that cruise that one time, and like fucking looked out. There was nothing but boat, and it literally looked round. Like the Earth was flat, like seeing all the stars and doing the stuff. It looks that way.
Okay,
to me.
Okay, to sum up what you guys have said, I feel basically the same way. Where it's like the Earth is round, because duh. I mean, it's like, hey man, you know what?
Everything else in the solar system is round. Also, all the things we know of, like the moon. It's
the way
round.
tides work.
How does that work?
Everything
with a flat Earth?
It's science. It's proven. This isn't one of those things to where it's just like, this is a theory that we have. It's like, nah, bro. We did the research. Like, the world round, bro.
Well, before we do another podcast,
but here's my thing.
I need to look into this stuff. I wish I had the outline
so
that I could have
people. It's a conspiracy. It's an internet conspiracy that people are in love with. And here's my thing: is it's just like who? Let's say it is a conspiracy. Let's say that the world is lying to you and that we're on this disc-shaped world.
It's been flat the whole time.
That's flat and we're the center of the universe and all that stuff. Who is coming up roses on that one? Who's winning
Who benefits from a spherical Earth? Well, I guess all of science. Because like most of it's based on that shit.
No, because we're all just feeding you propaganda to be like, this is the way physics works because we don't want you to know that the Earth is really flat because that changes everything.
Yeah, change everything. Cool.
But why? Who would have that agenda?
I don't know.
Is that kind of thinking dangerous?
Flat Earth theory?
Is flat Earth theory a dangerous way of thinking? Because it seems regressive to me. It seems like you're harming people by trying to force these ideas.
Well, it's the same.
You're discrediting science that way.
Well, it's the same thing as
idea,
someone being a fanatical religion or religious person in any religion. It's like,
sure,
just I don't know, going absolutely apeshit on something that you can't prove.
Yeah.
It's like, prove it to me. If the world, okay, this guy, that's why it's interesting. This guy, shoot yourself up. Prove to me somehow that the Earth is flat or whatever, you know.
And why? Okay, prove to me that the Earth is flat, and also tell me why you don't agree that it's round. With all the science to support the theory of a round Earth, as a flat earther, what is it that causes you to not even think that could be in the realm
and
of
don't
possibilities?
cite an internet video.
If me, Spherical Man,
no, it has to be something reputable.
It has to be something that has to be something
Validity.
that, like, no, it's science. You form a fucking hypothesis and you test the hypothesis, and that's science.
Oh god damn it, that's some hot science, man. Livingston.
So basically, I want this guy that's going to shoot himself in the rocket. I want you to tell me what your hypothesis is and what you think is going to happen. How are you going to prove to me by shooting yourself up into the flat sphere or whatever?
Dude's trying to shoot himself into the sky, and then he would literally go up high enough into the atmosphere flat. Quotation marks, air quotations. I'm doing. He would get up there, and then he would just literally, like a city, would just see the Earth in its longness and flatness, instead of its sphericalness, where he would have a horizon.
That you've been fed by the news media,
he would go
NASA,
up, see it in all of its flatness.
Yeah, and photograph it.
Now
or he's got
get some
evidence
kind
for the
of.
world.
He brings back the tablets, and then he can change everybody's minds.
Okay, well, I do have an update to this story. We're recording this on a Monday night.
Right.
The past Saturday from this recording, he was scheduled to go up. I was hoping I would be able to come in here and say that.
And have the results?
Here's his results. He had to postpone it for the fact that he doesn't have the permits to be able to fire a rocket from his mobile home.
Of course.
So it has been delayed, but I'm gonna promise my listeners we're gonna continue to follow up on this story, and that you're gonna find out you're gonna find out what I find out.
Yeah.
Because you guys are smart enough and you're good looking. Damn it. Has anybody told you that today? Have you looked in the mirror? Did you get up this morning and kiss yourself and say, "Who loves you more than me, baby?"
Kiss yourself.
Nobody.
Kisses themselves.
How can you kiss
You just kiss yourself in the mirror. Just
okay.
little peck.
A little peck in the mirror.
You are a foxy individual who is worthy of respect and love. All right, guys, we're going to move on to our second news story of interesting things that I found on the internet. This one's kind of nerdy, too.
Nerdy thing?
We're going to do another space thing. Because that cosmos, that mysterious cosmos,
Those
bro.
mysterious cosmos. You know I love those.
We have an interstellar traveler that has entered our solar system for the first time in recorded history.
An interstellar traveler?
That's correct.
For the first time in history. What is it?
It's kind of like an asteroid.
It's basically an asteroid. What is it?
This past October, the planet Earth had a visitor from beyond our solar system in the form of an interstellar asteroid codenamed Oumuamua.
Oumuamua?
A Hawaiian-based word meaning messenger from the distant past.
Who names those? Who's in charge of naming those things?
The Department of Asteroid Nomenclature, I would assume.
Is it NASA?
It's probably just the first person who recorded it, and they were like...
the first person who finds it.
Yeah.
0179er. You know?
Check
it. Uma.
Here's what's bizarre about this. This is something that we as far as long as the United States and the world at large has been studying space.
Right.
We've never seen anything like this. It is an unusual cigar-shaped asteroid. So it's long. It's not a ball. It's like it's almost like a spear.
Like a spear asteroid.
That is about 1,300 feet long.
How big is that in relation to planets and such?
Well, I mean, as far as planets, but it's 1,300 feet, bro.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
A foot, 1,300 feet's a lot.
Yeah.
And it rocketed past us. It rocketed past Earth, moving at 58,160 miles per hour.
Nice.
So this thing is fucking humming.
It's humming.
It is literally just
came
a
from
space spear.
A space spear.
And it's the first time we've ever observed something in our galaxy. It's not from our solar system.
Oh, so it's totally a different. How do they know that?
They know it based on the speed and the trajectory and the shape of it. And also
It can't be
because
coming from
they
Mars.
were able to analyze it, and it's got biological material on it that's not familiar to us.
That's fucking crazy.
Which to me is the biggest thing. It's like it's a composition from another sister from another sister.
Composition from another
From a composition
sister.
from another sister out in space, baby. It likely contains
system.
organic matter that, when delivered to Earth by impact in its earliest days of terrestrial history, is what people think gave us DNA. So what's interesting, because they're saying, like, basically it's
heavy.
like space dust, right? You've got
Right.
something that smashes into the planet, kills all the dinosaurs,
Right.
human
Creates
beings, and
biology.
the evolution that occurred from that is due into to the impact of the crater and what was on it.
Yeah, the
When
weird
it hit.
biology that was on it.
And that's one of the
that
things
grew
is
into whatever.
this thing's humming by so fast that, like, when we found out that it was there, we can't catch it. There's no way we can study this thing because
Right. It's gone.
that thing was motoring.
Yeah.
So we don't have any way of being able to analyze exactly what was in it. This chair, man. There was no way to be able to tell exactly what was in it, but it's one of those things to where it's like, this is from somewhere we've never heard of.
Right.
We don't know anything about it.
Don't know anything about the biology.
and fortunately
which
now-
is very interesting.
We have the wherewithal to be able to, like, look out for other objects like this that might be passing through and be able to intercept them in time.
Like, it's just like a space mitt.
Catcher's mitt.
Yeah. Just got this rock, y'all.
So, Matt, for you,
How does that tie in with the flat earthers, I wonder?
well, how do you
wonder how
think
they
this
feel
is
about it.
this an important discovery at all?
Yeah.
Is finding this important to the world?
To
To the world?
the world, probably
To the world
not.
at large, on a technological standpoint, is finding this thing passing through our solar system, what does that mean to us? What do you think? Does that have any meaning? What does this mean to the human race? Anything?
Well, I don't know. It's just more proof that, like, we're not the only biological material in the world.
Or in
That's
the universe, you
interesting.
mean?
In the universe, yeah. In the cosmos, which we already knew, I guess.
Statistically,
like, statistically, we would assume,
at least. Yeah.
and we found weird stuff and, like, all that science stuff.
I
But
don't
the
really think
idea
it's-
of it, but I don't think the world in general is going to be affected by that information.
Livingston, you think down the line this might have an impact, or you think this is just like a fun fact? Just like, hey, this kind of stuff happens. Do you think we're actually going to see any kind of advancement from this, or do you feel like it's just kind of it's neat?
It's a neat little fact because, I mean, like the Hale Bob comment is insane. I mean, granted, okay, it is from a different place that we don't. I mean, I guess that we don't know where it came from. It's just a cigar-shaped.
Sure, that's interesting.
that's-
It's interesting to. What blows my mind about it is
I
the
like
fact
the
that
space spear thing.
I like the
That's
idea that
super
this is
cool.
the
Going
first
super
time we
fast.
knew about something like that. To where it's like,
That's
this
true.
is something that we didn't even know was in our solar system.
Okay.
That blew my mind. It's like,
this thing shoots
Like
shoots,
our reach,
shoots past
our reach
it.
of knowledge
it hums
keeps
past.
growing.
yeah.
It's hauling ass.
Yeah.
Right.
Hauls ass past us. Turns around, comes back. Now that
Yeah, let's
that's
talk about
something
that.
to talk about.
I give you something.
But this thing just
about.
shoots through. It's like we don't know where it came from. We don't know where it's going. It's a cigar-shaped fucking thing that's hauling ass. Boom, it's gone.
Silver Surfer.
They say
Okay,
that there's
cool.
other
That happens. It happened just now.
well, in the asteroid belt that is
Every
in our
day,
solar
all the
system
time.
that exists already, there's other cigar-shaped asteroids. It's not like this is the shape is an
It's
anomaly.
the only thing, yeah.
Yeah, but it's
It's
just,
just
one
that
of
it's
the
going
facts.
so fast.
And the fact
It's
that
been shaped
it's
by
from
that.
another solar system. That's
It could be
to me,
billions
it's like,
of years old. We don't know.
Yeah. It's like how, humans have been looking at the sky and wondering about things, and this is the first time in the recorded history of anything that it's like, oh, it's from a different solar system. To me, I would have thought that would have happened decades ago.
Yeah, true.
You should, man,
Maybe
I wish
that's why I feel
you
like
should
it
have
wouldn't
put
be that
dude's name,
important.
the astronaut dude, because I wonder what that guy's sitting around thinking about. Whenever that guy looks at
Well,
the sky, like
it's-
fucking propaganda,
Yeah.
those lit up things. What does that guy think stars are?
Well, Matt Livingston, you can
Yeah.
go to phys.org and read that actual article about that and find out a little bit more information. So if you want to do your own research and
Right.
hey, leave it in the comments. All right, tell
Leave
us
it in
what you
those
think. Do you
comments.
think it's important? Should NASA continue to fund that? Let us know.
Yeah. Hashtag NASA didn't know.
Interesting thing number 3. I read this. I thought that was pretty interesting. Man, this is from foxnews.com.
Right?
Read this on Fox News. Headline: Man complained of abdominal pain. Has 263 coins, 100 nails removed from stomach.
263 coins and 100 nails?
Bear with me. Surgeons at Sanjay Gandhi Hospital in Satna, Madhya Pradesh, India, removed the 15 pounds of foreign objects from the stomach of Maqsood Khan after he was admitted to the hospital with abdominal pain.
Right.
Dr. Priyank Sharma, lead surgeon, was quoted, "This man looks mentally unstable, as no sane person would do something like this."
Right? That's true.
Thought that was interesting.
So
this
this gentleman's like, "Oh, my gut hurts." It's like, "Well, why does your gut hurt?" I don't know.
I've been eating coins and nails
eating
and
coins
stuff.
and nails for weeks.
I don't know. I have 15 pounds of coins and nails. So
I mean, obviously, he didn't shit them out.
And we're going to cut that right there.
what?
What happened?
That's it. Next segment. Fast fact. Time for a fast fact.
Whoa. Fast fact.
Seahorses don't have stomachs.
They don't have stomachs?
Fast fact. Seahorse doesn't have a stomach, bro.
At all?
It's all intestines.
Interesting.
So what happens when it eats?
Its intestines do the job of a stomach?
Nutrients get absorbed through the intestine. It poops it out real quick.
All right.
Nothing's gestating in there. So, question.
Right.
On a letter grade,
What do we give a seahorse?
what do you give a seahorse?
A letter grade?
Yeah.
What is a letter grade?
Like A plus
Oh,
through
A
F.
plus.
A
Oh,
through
gotcha,
F.
gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah.
So normal, like high school.
Dude, I'm going to
Yes.
give a seahorse
Letter
a solid A.
Really interesting choice.
Well, I just want to say I've been, like, you go to an aquarium, seahorses are always cool. Like, I've never seen a seahorse exhibit that I'm not like, that's stupid. Think about the last time you went and saw some fish, and they were like, hey, there's a whole thing there, whole fish tank full of seahorses. You're not going to go look at it.
Have you devised a letter grade yet? You still mulling this over?
I got a B.
Okay.
I'm a B on
You're
it.
going
Give me a
with
B. Why are you doing B on that?
Because it doesn't have a stomach.
Okay, so that gives it a just
Well,
like,
yeah.
hey, seahorses, man. They do have some interesting facts about them. Like, you've heard
He's a
some
B.
interesting things. I was going to go with
Seahorse has a stomach?
You're going with a C?
I was going to go with a C because it's like, yeah, but who gives a shit?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care about the
Yeah,
seahorse.
they're just
but
seahorses. Like, what do they do for anything?
They're
Like, I'm
fascinating.
sure something eats them, and it's like, that's important. But other than that, it's just like,
Well, they're just
the
so
males take care of the children. They don't have stomachs. Seahorses are fucking weird. And it's like, beyond that, it's like, yeah, you can go to an aquarium and it's like, oh yeah, like a seahorse, but you don't give a shit. You see jellyfish next to a seahorse, you're gonna go to that jellyfish every time. A jellyfish is a solid B.
Okay.
I'd say a jellyfish is an A. Jellyfish
Well,
is an A in my
I was
book.
saying,
See,
honestly, me too. I was just giving you an
personally,
example there.
I give jellyfish like almost a D. My animal rankings and you guys' animal rankings.
Well,
is so far
jellyfish,
off.
I mean-
because jellyfish, when I see them, I'm like, yeah, okay, but they all look the same. They're all just blobs of shit. And then, but in the
No
wild,
way, dude. You've
they
never seen a
sting the
praying
hell out
man
of
of
you.
war. You've never seen a praying man of war.
Well, not live ever, but
Oh
like,
man, they are insane.
Guys, the official hot science score for seahorses, B-. Shameless self-promotion. In this segment of shameless self-promotion, we're going to talk about a little web series.
we're gonna talk about your thing.
Going to be an upcoming web series
Talk about the thing.
that you need to get psyched out about.
B-Rad versus the devil.
It's B-Rad versus Black Magic.
Oh, Black Magic, sorry.
Yeah.
Larry,
Cut that.
cue the spooky music. Do you believe in the supernatural? Do you believe there's something beyond what we as humans perceive when something goes bump in the night. Do you ever want to bump back? In our brand new series, B-Rad versus Black Magic, I'm going to explore the unknown. As a certified skeptic, I plan on using this scientific method to debunk or definitively prove the existence of spooks, spirits, demons, or eldritch horrors from beyond the edge of sanity. Brought to you exclusively by the Hot Science crew, B-Rad versus Black Magic may very well blow your tits off. So what we're going to do...
Okay, do we want to talk about that at all? Do we want to talk about B-Rad
we're going to give it a
Black
setup.
Magic?
It's shameless self-promotion. We're going to give it a setup real quick.
Because you just did the whole thing.
Well, we've talked about this.
But we got to tell the viewers, the listeners.
Full transparency. We got a lot of friends that don't like Ouija boards.
Yeah, a lot of people are afraid of Ouija boards.
Every person that we tell about... Okay, basically, what's going to happen is we found a book at McKay. Brad found a book at McKay. Correct?
In the occult section.
That was how to make a Ouija board and how to use it.
Yeah.
And so we're going to film Brad making and using a Ouija board.
A certified skeptic.
Yep. Not an actual scientist.
One of two things are going to happen.
We're doing it for science, though.
It's absolutely for science.
One thing, nothing will happen.
Expected result.
The expected result is
That's our hypothesis.
Nothing.
Our hypothesis that we are making is that we are going to make this Ouija board and literally nothing is going to happen. So
it's Brad testing the devil's power, the black magic.
The black magic, man.
Yeah.
Because look,
certified
I like
skeptic.
science. I believe in things that we can prove, and there's things that we can't prove that are weird and we still don't understand. And the supernatural, I feel like, falls into a category where a lot of people take it to a place that becomes unscientific. It's either people trying to self-fulfill things, they're trying to make themselves feel better about situations, what have you.
Right.
I don't believe that the supernatural exists, but I would be willing to keep an open mind and try what is supposed to work to see if we get results.
See what happens.
And if we do, let's explore that. To me, a lot of people are afraid of it, and watch the series. We're going to have some interviews with some folks that can tell you exactly why they think I shouldn't do it. Yeah. But to me, as someone who doesn't believe anything is going to happen, I want to explore that. Friends will ask me, well, what happens if it does work? And I say, well, then we keep doing it.
Well, then we figure out how that goes.
Yeah. Explore it. We're going to do it scientifically for science.
Well, exactly. Either way, the solution means something.
We're cutting the fat. I don't want any bullshit. We're not going to try and get your clicks, your likes, and your views.
We need to just use that for
we are doing
everything.
It for science. This is going to take people like me that say, I don't think this is real, but wouldn't it be cool if it was? And we're going to test it.
Well, the premise in the very beginning, and what we're going to film before the actual use of the Ouija board, is that we don't think anything is going to happen, and we are not faking any of this. If anything actually does happen, what's going to happen is nothing. But say something does happen, we didn't make it happen.
Exactly.
We didn't even want it to happen.
We're
not trying to make it happen.
We're not going into this with the
we're going to
make a spooky show. It's like we're going to make a show that might be boring as hell. It might just be us sitting around.
It's real though.
Talking to a board.
Yeah.
And being like, well, this isn't working at all.
Exactly.
We're gonna have to do some creative editing to make this thing watchable.
Yeah, exactly. But who knows? And
even
that's
if
the
it's
point.
not,
Yeah.
it's documentation of what's really happening. And that, it's like if you want to get your friends together and be like, oh, look at this hilarious internet video, or we got a jump scare at the end and the demon's all in your face, don't watch my series.
But that's not what's going to happen.
It could also be you being...
It's not going to be in a mask.
Crazy,
if that shit happens, it's because a demon screamed at the camera.
Yeah. Well, not the demon screaming. I mean, honestly, I don't think a chair is going to move or a light's going to come, a door's. I don't think any of that shit's going to happen. If anything, if any of that stuff is real, then you're just going to get taken over by a demon and eyes roll back in the head and
hey, man,
foaming at the mouth and that kind of stuff.
And what a weird podcast this is going to be from now on.
Oh yeah.
Be sure to check that out. We're going to have that
Check that
available
shit
on
out.
YouTube
Yeah,
pretty soon.
yeah, pretty
Oh,
soon.
man.
We'll
But
let
now-
you know via the podcast.
hey, speaking-
when it's going to be
Yeah,
up.
we're going to alert you for that when you follow our
This is basically a get ready.
follow us on Twitter at Hot Science Pod.
Hot Science Pod
Look out for when we post that.
is a podcast.
It's a podcast, baby.
Hot Science
And that's going to
Pod.
do it for our shameless self-promotion bit. And now, a word from our sponsor. This episode of the Hot Science Podcast is brought to you by us, the Hot Science Crew. We're not currently sponsored by anyone, but if you'd like to be a part of Hot Science, we'd be happy to tell all of the beautiful listeners about your wonderful products and services. Just contact us at hotsciencepodcast31@gmail.com to get your product on the air. Thanks for listening. Fast fact. It's time for another fast fact.
Fast fact.
The average human body carries 10 times more bacterial cells than actual human cells. Your vessel is mostly filth and disease. Fast facts.
So there's more shit on your body
Most of you is gross.
than actual your body.
That's right. There's more gross stuff on you than anything else.
Yeah. If you removed all your grime, you'd barely have skin.
Class, are you paying attention? I hope you were paying attention. Pop quiz. Pop quiz, guys. Here's the rules. I'm going to ask a series of questions for you in the studio, in the Hot Science Lab here, and for those listening on your listening device. Remember, the rules are simple. 1 equals. Yeah, that's me. 2 equals. Nah.
Nice. Okay, so 1 is yeah, and 2 is nah.
Yeah.
So yas, nos.
So, ask yourself, let's be honest. Let's be honest, too. Would you consider yourself a charmer? Do you say, I influence people easily?
A charmer? I can be. I'm going to say yas.
I'm a charmer.
I would say no.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm a charmer.
Well, I'm like middle of the road there, but I'm going to say
I'm kind
yas.
of quiet usually. So, number 2.
Is this the 1 to 5 thing again? Is that the...
No, it's
one and
either
2.
yes or no.
Oh,
This is
yes
a
or
T-
no?
This
Yeah.
is a TF
Yes.
You're
situation.
either yes or no.
This is true or false.
Yes.
Number 2, would you consider yourself to be ever unreasonably irrational about decisions that you've made? Do you ever, we all make bad choices, do you ever get so upset that it ruins everything?
No.
No.
Do you? You're still beautiful. Either way. Number 3. I don't really get nervous about most things like other people seem to. I hardly ever get butterflies.
No. I get nervous about some stuff.
I hardly ever get butterflies. I really don't.
I get them all the time.
I'm having them right now.
Yep, I'm having them right now.
I can already see at the end of this quiz, I'm going to be an asshole.
My friend just texted me that they're having a party, and they're at a party and they're drunk and can't drive home. It's 3:00 in the morning. I've been asleep. Do I roll over and pretend like I didn't see it when I speak to him next time? Are you going to do that? It's like I saw that they needed help. I said, I'm asleep, bro.
I would send back a 4-letter text, Uber.
Uber.
Okay. So is that a yes or a no?
Yeah, I would probably get him an Uber. And
I would
then
say-
not
I would-
move myself.
Honestly,
I'd pay for it just to not leave.
yeah. I mean, I would probably see the text message and not do anything. That's really what would happen.
Like if you're being totally
Just
honest.
If I'm being
honest, man.
absolutely honest.
If it's 3 in the
I'm gonna
morning,
say I
I'm gonna
probably
say-
would too.
Yeah, probably.
I would too. I'll sit in
honestly.
that boat with you. Yeah,
I'll
I would
do
do
it.
the
I'll
same
do it
thing. If
too.
it's 3:00 in the morning, I didn't see
If
that
you text me
bro.
at
I was
3 and you're
asleep.
like,
It
I
could
need
be
to ride
9
home.
o'clock at night,
gonna be
and you
like,
motherfuckers don't answer your phones.
That's true.
That's true.
Number 5. I often tell little white lies to make my stories more interesting.
Nah.
You're
I'm
an
a
ass.
no on
You're
that.
an ass hammer when
I'm a
you do
no
that.
on
I
that.
hate that shit.
That's a pet peeve for me.
That's a pet peeve for me too.
Number 6. I'm not easily embarrassed. In fact, I can't think of anything I regret. And I'm going to say I also sit in that category. That's me. I'm a yes on that one. Because I mean, I get embarrassed about things that I've done, but I don't really regret anything.
I don't really regret anything.
I don't think back and go, hey, I don't really feel bad about making that choice. I try to measure them out beforehand. And of course, we all do, human condition. But I'm going to say yes on that one.
I'm going to say yes on that one because I really don't. I have a weird embarrassment threshold where I don't know if I've ever actually been embarrassed. I've been nervous about stuff, but I don't know if I've ever actually had something happen that I was like I can't live with myself. And I've shit my pants in public once.
Sure.
I wasn't embarrassed. I just stunk.
Well, no, it was like, I got to get home, man. Like, I'm not embarrassed. I'm having a real emotion here. Like, I got to go. I got to get out of here. I don't care what anybody thinks.
Number 7. I don't like large groups of people and rarely feel like I belong with them.
I hate large groups of people.
I don't like large groups of people, but it's not because I don't feel like I don't belong. Yeah, it's like I just don't like a shit
That
ton
adds a
of
different
people.
shade to it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So that's no's from
no's.
everybody there?
No's.
Okay. Number 8. People often tell me that I never learn from my mistakes.
No.
I'm going to say that's not me at all.
Yeah, that's none of us.
I feel like I kind of dwell on my mistakes,
Yeah,
if
I've learned
anything
too
else.
much.
Number
I
9.
make more mistakes because
I have a hard time in relationships because no one seems to, I'm doing bunny ears, get me.
No.
You're a schmuck.
Yeah.
Number 10.
This could be a schmuck test.
I have been accused of being cold or motionless
Motionless.
in everyday situations.
No.
Nope.
Number 11. I don't understand the point of meditation because it always seems like a waste of time to me.
No, I'm gonna say no.
No, I meditate, so that's not me.
I don't do it on the reg, but I appreciate it every now
Well,
and
it's just sitting,
then. Yeah, well, it's just taking a fucking time out.
not thinking.
Do you ever fake emotions to feel like you fit in?
No.
Or responses to fit in? You ever do
Nope.
that?
No. What are your answers on these? You're not answering any of these.
Well, no, because they're the same as yours. Like, I've meditated before. Sometimes
Yeah.
you need a moment of quiet reflection.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes you figure out a lot about yourself by being self-analytical.
Be silent for a minute.
No, and
Well, for me,
that
that's
is
not what meditating is.
well, but to me, no. I'm saying that it's like it says to here where it's like you feel like it's a waste of time, and for me, that's like you're centering yourself and you're being present and you're taking a moment, and it's not about just sitting there and trying to calm down. Like you're meditating, you're
it's not a
reflecting.
break.
There's, you're being aware of the situation rather than just like, what's the point of that, man?
Right.
I've done it before. It makes you feel better, especially if you're real stressed out. Let's see. Are you a crazy party fiend?
No.
Nope.
No. Number 14. Do you make false threats that you don't plan to follow through with just to shock people? Like, you know what? If you're going to be like that, maybe I'll just kill myself.
Nope.
I haven't done that. Number 15. I would rather have a one-night stand than go on several dates before having sex.
Hell no.
Nah, I would go on dates.
Anyone out there listening, if you've ever had sex with a stranger,
One-night stands are weird.
it's weird.
Yeah, that's weird.
I mean, granted, that everybody's got that friend that's a sexual conquest friend that's fucked
But
like
a
50
total
people.
stranger.
But having sex with a total stranger is one of the weirdest things you can ever do. Because after you get your orgasm, or God forbid you don't, but
Right.
but after you do, it's
Yeah.
like, wow, I should have masturbated.
Yeah.
This is weird. For real, dude. It's like now I'm talking to this. I don't know. I've just had some weird experiences.
Right. You've had your
In my
one-night
younger days,
stands.
I've been
You've had
married
your-
for
you've had
10
your weird
years. I haven't had
experiences.
sex with a stranger in well over a decade.
Well, and I've been in a situation to where it's like I've been with somebody that afterwards it's like, man, shouldn't have done that. I've been there. No, I would much rather have a relationship with somebody and
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
well,
have it
yeah, exactly. Get
be
to
an
know
addition
Well, there's
to
always
something before.
alcohol involved. I've
In
never
those
been
situations,
sober
yeah.
and
Well,
had a one night
But I
stand.
think
Yeah,
I think the
yeah,
point
true.
of this is your compulsion. You know, do you feel compulsed to? It's just like whatever, let's do it. Random people, yeah. Stranger, it's some of that strange, you know.
Getting
Number
some literal
16.
strange.
I make plans for the future, but I rarely ever follow through with them.
I'm gonna say no. Well, I don't know. I make
I've
a lot of
got-
plans that I don't
literally
follow
have
through with.
lists.
I have a stack of plans.
all these lists, and I do them every day.
Livingston's
I
a
make a list,
manifest destiny.
and I do
He's
it.
the
true.
living embodiment of a
Of
manifest
manifest
destiny.
destiny. It's true.
I would say that we're doing this right now, so I can't really put myself into that yes category.
This is the end of a list that I made.
Yeah, we wanted to do a podcast. We're doing a podcast.
Yeah.
Number 17, did you feel the need to lie about any of the answers in this test?
No.
Now add up your score, which isn't really correct. Basically, if you said yes to a lot of these things, you're a sociopath. Sociopaths can be sexy and beguiling. They take the risks that most of us don't and come across as bold and exciting. Socially, they're often leaders, the life and soul of a party. The downside is that they regard others to be used. They don't feel sympathy, empathy, or guilt, and are often one step away from becoming what psychologists refer to as criminally vindictive types, whose sole motivation is to take advantage of weaker people.
Sociopath.
This quiz was actually derived from the work of Henry Cleckley, who has published a book.
Famous sociopath.
He published a book titled The Mask of Sanity, in which he lists 16 behavioral characteristics of a sociopath, which is the test that you
test
just
that
took.
we just took.
Nice.
The
So-
twist at the end is that was the test the whole time.
I do want to say that if you felt like you had a lot of these things, there's that's a documented thing. Don't feel like you're a freak or a weirdo.
Yeah.
If this test made you feel weird, go talk to somebody about that.
I watched a video.
I was definitely a
earlier
yes
today.
on a lot of it. I don't think I'm a
But-
sociopath,
no,
but
but,
I was a yes. on
It
a lot
starts
of those,
off
yeah.
where it's kind of like situationally, these are kind of different, but once you start getting to the end, it's like, no, that's not me, bro.
Yeah, not me.
Anyway, now it's time to take a word from our sponsor. Are you tired of having to use your phone for internet videos? Are you ready to make high-quality, professional videos for your website, podcast, or YouTube channel? Then don't settle for anything less than a Canon. With the Canon EOS C100 Mark II digital HD camera, you get powerfully evolved HD freedom, featuring new advanced imaging and operational features optimized for one-person use. With a more sophisticated imaging processor, capture slow and fast motion, wireless FTP video transfer, GPS support, and additional popular features added because you, the consumer, asked for it. There's no point in shooting anything if it's not on a Canon. Canon. See impossible. It's time for movie talk.
All right, we're ready to do some movie talk. One of
We're
my favorite
excited about what's
subjects.
hot in the box office
My
right now.
Favorite subjects.
Hey, when you think of star power, who comes to your mind before Chris Christopherson?
Character actor Wesley Snipes.
That was the answer.
Famed.
That was the
character
answer. I was
actor.
thinking Barbara Streisand, but you, sir,
Where's
gave me
the
the correct
Christopherson
answer.
connection?
Wesley Snipes.
Yep.
Hey, we're
Famed
talking.
character actor. I want
Guys.
to give him that moniker. Can I give him that moniker? Famed character actor Wesley Snipes.
Oh yeah, I've seen Demolition Man.
Senior. Yeah,
I've-
we've all seen Demolition Man.
So
And-
Wesley Snipes. Where's
yeah,
this
Wesley
going?
Snipes.
Black belt master. I don't know the martial arts, but he knows. That guy knows his shit. He is a legit martial artist.
Listeners,
All right. Okay.
send
wait.
us what does Wesley Snipes know martial arts wise?
Your
There's gotta
favorite
be-
martial arts actor with a sweet blonde, high and tight, squared off kid and play haircut in
Only
Demolition Man.
Demolition Man again.
Just that movie.
Although we're not talking about Demolition Man.
No, what movie are we talking about, guys?
We're talking about ding ding ding.
Blade.
What?
Blade.
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 The movie Blade.
The movie Blade.
Who stars legendary character actor Wesley Snipes.
Yep.
And singer-songwriter Chris
Christopherson. In one of his best roles ever, if I do say so myself.
And America's sweetheart, Stephen Dorff.
Oh man, Stephen Dorff's so good in this movie.
So good.
So good in this movie. One of the best bad guys.
Forgy, I think you're going to have to take the
ever.
synopsis on this one.
Yeah, what is Blade?
Okay, Blade is set in an alternate New York City where Wesley Snipes' character from Demolition Man has become a vampire.
Full-on vampire?
Full-on vampire.
So this guy gets burned up in the sun and can't stand garlic or crosses?
He's actually, get this, a half vampire.
What? How does that happen?
His mother was a vampire, and he was born. She was pregnant when she became a vampire. Yeah, get that.
Isn't the term daywalker?
Daywalker is used a lot in this movie. It's a term that you should get familiar with. If you're going to see this movie, get familiar with the term daywalker, because that's what Blade is known as, because he can't be hurt by the sun.
Movie shout out, Vampire Hunter D. Dom Peel.
Yeah.
Same thing.
But, okay, Blade is basically a badass half vampire, half martial arts badass.
He's intros in a vampire rave. That's his intro.
His intro is
he
in a
kills
vampire
everybody
rave.
in a vampire rave.
He's also the best vampire hunter that's ever existed.
Kills the whole rave, bro.
Kills the whole rave. And then he has to fight Stephen Dorff, the bad vampire.
Udo Kier is in it too.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of bad vampires. Blade's trying to fuck them all up. Stephen Dorff, the worst one.
The baddest
The
of the
baddest of the bad vampires.
Oh,
and guess what he's gonna conquer? La Magra. He's gonna conquer La
Wait a minute.
Magra.
You're talking about La Magra?
Yeah.
The blood god?
The blood god, La Magra, from Blade lore, is what he's gonna conjure. So his plan is to bring back La Magra. Blade gotta stop it.
He's a maniac.
I'm gonna tell you the best part. In my opinion, the best part of the entire Blade movie.
Spoilers for the night.
Well, best part of the movie.
Wait, when did this movie come out?
This came for spoilers for a movie that was made in 1998.
Nice. 98.
Well, I'm not even going. This isn't a spoiler. His best friend is Chris Christopherson.
A Whistler.
Whistler.
Yeah.
And Whistler, who's one of the most badass characters you're ever going to see in a movie, because he just hates vampires and wants to help Blade kill vampires.
Yeah. He finds the Daywalker who hates vampires too. And he's like, hey, dude, I hate vampires. We should be best friends.
Yeah, best
I know how
friends.
to build all sorts of vampire killing shit. And you're like a Daywalker.
Yeah, you're half vampire. Also, the beauty part of Blade is that he's a vampire in that he can do crazy shit. Like, he can jump really high and, like, kill people really good and can't get hurt. Heals.
He can kill people really good.
Kills good. He kills so good.
Good kills.
Good kills. This movie has some amazing kills. I'm going to say, every time he cuts vampires and they turn into those bone things, that's one of the coolest ways
like
to
they
kill
turn into
vampires
skeletons and then ash. Just
ever.
fall into a pile of ash.
Yeah, that's such a
super
cool way.
Yeah.
So good kills. He kills vampires good.
And I will say this movie kind of harkens back
Well,
to
and
like,
the only bad thing is that he has to take his serum
oh, that's right. His
because he's addicted to the blood.
yeah,
He's
it's,
because he's a vampire.
He has the lust.
synthetic
Got that bloodlust.
It's synthetic blood that Whistler created for him.
Exactly.
And then somebody did cocaine and was like, we should make a show called True Blood.
That's true. All of this came from Blade.
And cocaine.
Blade has a signature look, which is really gonna sell this movie.
But that
more
was
than anything.
that was a movie thing. Before that, he kind of looked like that in the comic
Oh,
books.
also Blade is a comic book movie. It's the first Marvel
it's the
movie.
first Marvel movie.
It's the first ever
well,
Marvel
there was
movie.
the Punisher before that, and
That's
like
true.
Captain America.
The
original
All the shit
Captain America.
ones.
Really,
The
really
Flash
shitty
TV
B
movie or whatever.
Yeah, really shitty
Yeah.
B stuff. But it's like this was the first one that was like, this made money. This movie made money.
was at least written by David Goyer, wasn't it?
Let me read
or
the copy
directed
I
by
got
David
here.
Goyer.
It's
Because this is one of the first like David Goyer things.
It's directed by Stephen Norrington, who did Death Machine.
Oh shit!
Death Machine classic 80s fucking
I've
killer
never seen
machine.
Death Machine.
Dude, watch Death Machine.
Is it as good as Blade?
Movie recommendation: Death Machine. It's better than Chopping Mall.
Okay.
I don't know if that speaks to anybody.
That speaks to me at least. I know the reference.
He also wrote directed the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Underrated, but not good.
That movie's terrible.
It's not
That
good,
movie's
but it's
fucking
got
horse
some
trash.
good shit in it. It's got some good shit.
And it was written by David S. Goyer, who did Dark City
He's done everything.
and
though.
the Dark Knight trilogy,
Right,
and he's also done
a
a really bunch of bad movies.
He's done
too.
some bad stuff as well. He's done some bad stuff.
But it's starring Wesley Snipes. It's loosely based on the Marvel Comics character of the same name, which debuted in The Tomb of Dracula #10 in July of 1973.
Yeah, all the Daywalker stuff, that's all Blade history. That's comic book Blade.
This movie became a commercial success by grossing $70 million at the U.S. box office and $131.2
When did it come out
worldwide.
again?
98.
98? Well, Blade, to me, is just a great movie. It's just a good movie. It's along the same lines as, like in that era, like Spawn is a terrible movie, but still a good movie to watch.
Well, I was going to say it feels like a throwback to the 80s movies because it's
like Demolition Man. It's just Demolition
it's like
Man
Demolition
with vampires, man.
but it's like something cool. Like Blade does something cool, Whistler does something cool, and then they have that moment where it's like one-liner.
Yeah.
And it's not that cheesy like, come on, Michael Bay. Come on, man. It's that moment to where it's just like,
Well,
yeah, vampire pun.
It's got one of my best one of the best lines. One of the best moments in history for me, because I love vampire movies in general. But the best moment in that movie, spoiler alert, is there's a point where Blade is about to get killed, and you're like, oh my god, Blade's going to get killed. And then a wall explodes, and Whistler walks out and says, catch you fuckers at a bad time,
Yes.
and then fucks up everybody, and it's the best thing that ever happened.
So much glass shattering.
Oh
in
man,
that
it's
scene.
so good. It's
Yeah.
like that's the best line that I've
that's
ever
true.
heard anybody say.
I will say, I digress, sir,
Okay,
because I will say the defining quote from that film.
that okay.
Wesley Snipes is fighting Stephen Dorff's character, who I can't even remember, Deacon Frost.
Deacon Frost.
He's called Deacon Frost.
Because Deacon is such a badass
Yes,
name,
and
and
Deacon-
also Donald Logue is in this movie, or Donald Logue plays a henchman, and he's hilarious.
Oh yeah, he's the guy at the
he
very
keeps
beginning.
getting his arm cut off
Yeah.
like a million times in the movie.
Yeah. It's kind of like that Pee Wee Herman and Buffy the
And
Vampire
Buffy the Vampire
Slayer.
Slayer, yeah.
Redo.
Also, recommendation: watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer the movie,
I will say though,
not the show, the movie.
the best line in that is Deacon Frost has been possessed by La Magra.
Magra.
Yeah, and there's a part where Blade cuts his arm off, and the arm shoots out, but then the blood connects it back together, and
Yeah.
he's like, "You can't hurt me, Blade." And Blade's totally straight up, just like, "Some motherfuckers always trying to ice skate uphill."
And then just does some awesome shit.
And then kills the fuck out of
Okay,
him.
yeah, let's just ruin it. It's 95.
Spoiler alert: Blade wins and kills
Blade
the
wins
fuck
the
out
shit.
of La
98.
Magra.
Yeah. Also, I want to say some of the La Magra effects are some of the best, worst
They
90s
look terrible
CG.
now. Yeah.
Okay, so grade. Letter grade.
I'm going to give it like an A. I watched that movie. I've seen that movie
We
a
have
lot.
a
Of
deep
history
connection
with
with,
that movie,
Blade.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say, as far as like
Maybe an A+ for me.
I was gonna say on my graded scale, I will give it an A-, just for the fact that some of the CGI is kind of dodgy when you watch it now. But that movie knows exactly what it's trying to
Oh,
do,
man.
and it does it.
And it does it so well.
for sure.
All the vampire stuff is cool. All that like Blade action stuff, like him doing like vampire kung fu with a fucking katana. Like, that's the movie you're going to see. And when you go to see Blade, you're going to go see a vampire kill other vampires with a katana blade. If that sounds interesting to you, you get on it.
Movie recommendation:
Don't see Blade 3.
don't watch any of the other Blade. Watch the second
2.
one.
2's
Yeah,
good.
watch the second
It's
one.
Guillermo.
Don't watch the third one, and then check out The Punisher on Netflix. 'Cause I'm digging that show. I'm digging that show. Real quick, before we wrap this up, I want to ask Matt Livingston, why are some motherfuckers always trying to ice skate uphill?
Well, it's the construct of our society.
All right,
Nice.
fast fact.
Society.
Fast fact.
Society created those motherfuckers.
It's fast facts.
Fast facts.
Fast fact, guys. God's mistake, a.k.a. the platypus,
Right? God's mistake.
Has
If you
venomous
Google God's
spurs.
mistake, you'll see the platypus. First thing comes
First
up.
thing that shows up. It has venomous spurs on its hind feet capable of dispensing a poison that can kill a medium-sized dog. So platypuses are crazy looking and dangerous as fuck.
I did not know the platypus was dangerous.
Fast facts, baby. What are we rating platypuses? What is a platypus on a grade
That is
scale?
an A, man. I didn't know the
A
platypus was that
platypus from a
hardcore.
scale to A to F is a P for platypus for me because that is a one-of-a-kind animal.
Okay, so including my score, that brings a platypus to an A+.
An A plus. No, it's a pay plus because he gave it a P.
Because I gave it
That's
a
right.
P. A P plus.
A P+.
Or A plus because the P for plus.
Truth.
There you go. So platypus right now,
Sitting at a solid A plus.
top
plus.
of the ladder.
What were the other one? Who else did we rate this episode?
We've done seahorses,
Which
which
got a
I
B
gave a B
minus.
minus.
Yeah.
And then of course we also have already established in the past that sheep are an A.
Yeah.
Truth.
Sheep are a
All right, guys.
definite A.
I'm gonna plug in the modem for video game time.
Just make Larry do it.
Larry, plug in the modem.
We're talking about video games. Hey guys, what are we doing? We're playing a video game. Oh shit! I'm a pre-middle-aged man.
Yep. Pre-middle age. Pre-middle age.
That's
I like
my
that.
generation. And right now, I grew up with video games. I love me
I
some
love
video
'em.
games.
Yep,
I still
Brad
go to
loves
work
'em.
and pay my bills. I'm not a loser in my mom's basement. But guess what? I'm real fucking excited that Red Dead Redemption 2 is going to be coming out at the end
Of this
of
spring?
2018.
They've pushed it back again.
They will. It's scheduled. It's
scheduled for
slated
spring,
for
quotation
spring
marks.
I thought it
2018
was
right
supposed
now.
to happen at the end of this year.
It's yeah.
It was originally.
It was.
Guys, I'm going to go recommend right now that you go to Red Dead Redemption 2 trailer, full
Watch
trailer
it.
on YouTube. And if you care about video games and you've heard of Red Dead Redemption, watch this trailer.
And if you've never played the first Red Dead Redemption,
Well,
get yourself Red Dead Redemption 1
Maybe I'm one of those
and
guys.
play it.
Maybe I'm one of those people
Because you
that's
got
sitting at home.
time.
Matt
But you
Livingston.
got time.
Matt
Yes.
Livingston.
Yes.
Why should I care about this? What is Red Dead Redemption?
Red Dead Redemption is amazing.
What is that
Well,
though?
Okay. Full disclaimer. I'm not necessarily a video game guy. For
The three
listeners.
of us, you're the
Out
least
of the
video
three of us,
gamer.
yeah, I'm the least video game comic book dude out of us all.
Yeah.
But I purchased the Xbox 360 so that I could play Red Dead Redemption with you dudes.
Yeah, it's true.
And it
That was
changed
your
my
first-
video game
that
What
was
is
your
the
first
game? Though? What just describe the game to somebody?
It's Grand Theft Auto in Cowboy World.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of the sandbox style of Grand Theft Auto, and you've ever fantasized about being a cowboy, play Red Dead Redemption.
Have you ever seen the show Westworld? You can play it in Red Dead Redemption.
They actually did research on Red Dead Redemption to make Westworld.
Really?
They based some of the structures of the scripts around video
should
games,
have,
and
man.
that was the template for it. I'm going to say that just editorially speaking, if you were to put me on the spot right now and say, hey, Brad, what are your 5 favorite video games of all time? Red Dead Redemption's going to be in one of those 5.
Oh,
Yeah,
100%.
in one of those slots.
I've spent
absolutely.
so many hours of my life playing Red Dead Redemption, just sitting at the card table and playing poker.
Yeah. Well, just doing all of it. That's one of the most immersive game experiences I've had, where I was John Marston and I was his outcome. Like I was all those things, and you just feel it. Like it's the best. Like we've talked about it before. Coming over those mountains, when you're playing Red Dead Redemption, at one point in the game,
That game gave me feels.
you cross the mountains into Mexico, and you have to do it on your horse. Like there's not a way to do it without crossing it. And as soon as you peak those mountains, like you have this feeling.
The soundtrack
The soundtrack
that's
kicks
kicking
in.
in. Yeah.
Oh man, it's a whole
It's
It's
cinematic.
beautiful.
It's cinematic.
It's
and
this
so
beautiful
perfect, yeah.
feeling I've never had with
Well,
a game.
guys, Red Dead Redemption 2, according to Wikipedia, is an upcoming Western-themed action-adventure video game developed and published by Rockstar Games, makers
Solid
of
company.
Grand Theft Auto,
Solid company.
and released for all the platforms in Q2 of 2018. You get to play as outlaw Arthur Morgan, a member of the Dutch Vanderling gang.
It's Vanderling Gang callback to the first Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, they were.
Callback.
That was the main character's gang. Yeah.
Yeah, he was in that.
Okay, guys. Well, here's what I wanted to ask. Like, this is a segment to where it's like, if you play video games, you know what Red Dead Redemption is too.
Yeah, you know.
Rockstar literally released an image on their Twitter account that was just a red Rockstar logo.
Just the
It
Redemption
was a
logo,
black
man.
screen with the red Rockstar logo up, and Twitter went ape shit on it. Reddit exploded over it. Everybody knew that this red R with a star on it was going to be
Meant
Red Dead 2.
something. Yeah, exactly. Well, it's the same. It's the
let's
same
have it.
social
Bring it
cry.
on.
It's almost a better social cry than Grand Theft Auto. Anytime they release a new Grand Theft Auto, the whole gaming industry is like, "Oh my god, this is."
It's still Grand
still
Theft
a
Auto
thing.
5 is still on the top selling charts in
Yeah,
the top 10 NPD.
it's a great game. I still
statistics
play it. We
week
still
after
play it.
week.
Yeah.
Well,
like-
it's just people
Well,
are
now
still
with
buying
the
it. People
with
are
the,
still
with
buying
the
the
online
game.
stuff. It's just insane.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, here's what I want to ask about Red Dead 2.
Red Dead,
if you,
you think there's
if
gonna
you
be-
don't listen to video games, it's like watching somebody play it would get you into it
It really will.
because it's that good.
Well,
So, what
with-
are your
well-
expectations?
Well, my
for
thing
the
is
second one?
that they've with Grand Theft Auto and well Rockstar in general. What I think is going to happen with the new Red Dead is that they've already baited everything with Grand Theft Auto, the online stuff. So whenever this thing comes out, it's just going to be full tilt boogie, amazing online situation
Yeah.
because they've already worked all the bugs out with Grand Theft Auto over the years of making the new updates
Sure.
and doing all the new
it's
stuff.
still going. They're releasing
yeah.
Yeah, they
new
release
content
stuff
all the
every
time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So with whenever they decide to put Red Dead 2 out, it's going to be insane.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Well-
I have very high expectations of that game, and I'm really like I want it to just be amazing. But I want the world of Red Dead, man.
Well,
I just
here's-
want to feel like a fucking cowboy.
Let
I
me-
want to get on a horse and ride and feel like because it was just so good in that
the first one captured it so
that
well.
first one captured the idea of riding a horse in a game. I mean, I'm playing a fucking video game. I'm sitting at my house on my couch staring at my TV, but I felt like I was riding a horse. You know what I'm saying? The control.
Well, let me ask you this: in this new, because we're talking about how well Grand Theft Auto is still selling. We're talking about how they're releasing new online content
Right.
all the time. How do you feel? Are you more excited for the single player experience that you're going to get? That Rockstar, you know what that structure is going to be. You know how the character. It's going to
They've
be very
never really
cinematic.
dropped the ball on
It's
a
going to be
cin-
interesting.
on a storyline.
Are you looking more towards the multiplayer than the story? Are either of you more interested to see what they do with the multiplayer than the story?
I'm-
sorta. I'm interested to play with you guys.
Well, for me, it's okay because you guys, I have a weird kung fu mentality for things, but for me, playing through the story on hard
right.
lets you learn the world and learn how to play the actual game. So then that makes the online gameplay better because you
Well, 'cause
can
it's
learn.
always hard on
You
the
can learn how
online,
to do
yeah.
everything in the environment and
Well, and
you learn
two,
the controller.
I also kind of feels like if you played the single player, you're already invested in this world, these landmarks,
These landmarks,
these
yeah, you
roads
know
that
these
you're
roads.
traveling down,
Right,
these
yeah.
towns that you visited. So when you go there in multiplayer, it's almost like you're no longer just following the path of this character that's been scripted and already your destiny is set in stone. And it's like me hanging out on my, it's like we get stupid when we play games
that's
online.
true.
It's like we just do private chat, and it's like I when we play that game, I'm gonna be talking, hey fellas, where you want to head to tonight? We can go to Rattlesnake Ridge.
Yeah, exactly.
We can go over to the old man Grant's
Well, you feel like
tomb.
a cowboy. It's like I remember the first time playing Red Dead with you guys, like playing it online. It's like we've been playing this game for a month or so because Matt didn't have it yet. It was like Matt got it. We all got online. It's like I'm riding my horse, and then another just dude on a horse rides up next to me, and then you started talking, and then Matt rides up next to me, and it's like there's three of us in a line, and we're all talking, just riding our fucking horses through the like wasteland, and then somebody just shoots a dude. And then we get it's like it's probably Livingston, just straight caps.
We're all sitting there,
just straight caps.
That, or we're all sitting there on our horses and we're just chatting. And then somebody falls off their horse because some rando just blew their brains out. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think that's going to be a good time.
It's going to be good stuff.
Hey, if you think it's going to be a good time, you let us know. You can either email us at hotsciencepodcast31@gmail.com, or you can hit us up on Twitter at hotsciencepod. On Twitter. We got a Facebook. Enjoy that.
On a Facebook and a Twitter. Get it all over your social media. Man. Spread it all over your social media.
Spread it on.
Okay, well, we talked about the awesomeness that is Blade.
Yeah.
We talked about Rockstar making a sweet cowboy game.
Mm-hmm. Let's combine the two.
You know what? I'm going to say let's forget those altogether and just talk about ourselves. Let's do some shameless self-promotion. Shameless self-promotion. This is the part of the podcast where I'm going to tell you guys about some real hip music I've been listening to. There's some guys on the local scene. Some papas and mamas. There's one mama.
One mama and a couple of papas.
Couple of papas that are hitting off the charts. I want to talk about the Chattanooga-based music sensation. Dead Testaments. Have you guys heard of this band?
Yes.
Yes.
How have you heard of them?
Because we're in the band.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, that's news to me. What do you guys do in the band?
I play the bass guitar.
I played the drums.
And who else is in this band?
Abe, JG, and Allie.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who are those people?
Who are those people?
Oh, man.
You might be asking.
Well, if
Google it.
So you guys are playing.
We have a Pandora. We're on Spotify. We're legit.
Well, what do you want to say about that? If you wanted to, if I gave you, like, you're sending out a Donald Trump tweet.
No.
You're filling up the box.
Donald Trump
You're
tweet.
filling up the box.
Right?
You're gonna say.
Fill in the cup.
You're filling the cup. What are you gonna say about these guys? What are you gonna say about the Dead Testaments? Just Dead Testament. There's no the.
No, it's dead. Yeah, it's just Dead Testament.
You can refer to it as the Dead Testaments,
Yeah.
but don't put a hard "the" on it.
Yeah. You can be like, hey, have you heard the Dead Testaments?
The Dead Testaments, yeah. But you can't say the Dead Testaments.
Dead Testament.
So what is this? What do you guys do? What explain your band to me. If I haven't heard it, why should I give a shit about listening to you guys?
Dead Testaments is kind of an old band that Abe and Dave and Allie and I started a long time ago. And it's been through many incarnations, and I went through all my health shit, and then now we basically are touring but playing shows on the songs that we recorded directly after I had my brain tumor surgery. And now we're making a band out of it.
Yeah.
And it's pretty fucking awesome.
And I'm a bass player in the band.
Yeah.
And that's something that you guys have done one live show all together as this new band, right?
Oh, yeah.
With how
As
many
of
members?
the recording of this podcast.
With 5 members total?
Yeah, 5 members.
As of the recording of this podcast, we've done one live show.
We have another live show tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, yeah. At
What
the
is
wood
that?
shop.
And what's
The wood shop.
it's the 28th?
It's the 28th.
This is probably going to
But
be in
this
the
is
past.
probably
for
going to
you.
be in
Yeah.
the past. Yeah.
But there's other shows.
Well, there's one on the 1st, December 1st,
December 1st.
at Frequency Arts in Chattanooga, and there's one January 11th at JJ's Bohemia.
Yes, that's my birthday.
Bohemia. It's Matt's birthday.
Show up.
It's going to be a good show.
Just tell them that Matt sent you, and you'll get free drinks all night long.
Shit.
We're going to play 18 cover songs. I'm signing us up to do that now.
Nice.
Really.
So what kind of cats are going to show up to hear this jam? What if you were to say,
If you've ever
what's
liked,
my genre?
if you've ever enjoyed Tom Waits or Leonard Cohen or Arcade Fire or anything along
Cave.
those, Nick Cave, yeah, anything along those lines. If you own a Tom Waits or Nick Cave record,
Yeah.
you will enjoy Dead Testaments. I would bet.
Yeah, that's true.
The
I would bet
farm on
money.
that shit.
If you like Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, you will enjoy.
Exactly. If
yeah.
you own a Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds
Yeah.
song, you will enjoy Dead Testaments.
Okay, so you're Matt Livingston. You're the drummer.
Yes.
Matt Ford, you're the bassist.
Mhm.
You said there was a guy named Abe.
Yes. Abraham Houck.
What's he do?
He is the lead
He's the
singer.
lead singer,
Okay.
guitarist, brain.
Yeah, he sort of made.
He's the soul of the band,
yeah,
really, honestly.
Yeah.
If I can speak of
He's the
that.
vibe. I mean, we are the salt and pepper that make the meal. He is the meat.
Yeah, he's the steak.
So he's the singer songwriter.
He is the soul.
Does he play anything?
Yeah,
Everything.
he plays. Yeah,
he
yeah,
plays the
yeah.
universe.
He does play. He does play everything.
So
but
he's
he
the
plays
singer in the
he
band?
plays
No,
the guitar,
Mainly guitar.
mainly
Okay.
guitar. Yeah.
Okay. So you got another guitarist in the band, I guess.
Yeah,
Jared G.
Jared G.
Wait a minute, that guy from Okinawa.
Yes.
Same guy.
Nice.
There was another band in town called
It's true.
Okinawa.
And
And Elk Milk. Jared's in a lot
there's
of
a
bands.
band called
Jared's
Elk
all
Milk
over
that
the
I've heard
place.
about too. And then
But
there's
Okinawa is pretty fantastic.
you said there's 5, so I got a drummer, I got a singer, and a guitarist. I got a guitarist, a bassist.
And
Who's
you
left?
got Allie Stanford.
Allie is the
Keys
actual musician.
and violin.
Yeah, where Abe plays
Is that
the
how you say it?
universe, Allie plays instruments, and she is amazing at them.
Mm-hmm.
She's a classically trained pianist,
Oh,
and
that's-
she's pretty fantastic.
Huh. Interesting mix. If I wanted,
Interesting mix.
if I wanted to hear this stuff, where would I find it?
On Pandora or Spotify or YouTube.
I just
Or
I
like
just
literally
search for
anywhere.
Dead
Just
Testaments.
search Dead Testaments and it's
If
gonna
you have
pop
the
up.
internet,
It's
you
on
could type
Facebook.
you
Yeah,
could
it's
type
everywhere.
Dead Testaments into the internet, and 3 or 4 clicks later you could find it. I
Huh.
mean, SoundCloud,
It's
Reverb
everywhere.
Nation,
Yeah.
Pandora.
Well,
put
the
it in.
YouTube and stuff's gonna
Yeah,
pop
YouTube.
up
Yeah, for sure.
every time.
Nice.
Yeah, we
Just
have a few
YouTube Dead
videos.
Testaments.
Yeah.
There's a top tracks list that I listen to all the time. I'm in the band.
I'm going to go ahead and say for the FCC, full disclosure, I already knew all the answers to those questions.
Right.
I've heard the band very many times. I may be prejudiced.
You've seen them
I
live.
think they're fantastic.
You actually do all the art for the band.
And I do
Yeah,
all the
you do-
art for the band.
That's true. So this is the most shameless
So
self-promotion.
guys, show up to the show and
You know-
enjoy the music and buy
Right,
the
yeah.
merch
You'll
and have a good
you'll
time.
Enjoy the music. Buy the merch. You'll probably buy it from Brad.
I'll be the guy behind the thing while they're playing. I'll smile at you and go, "It's this
Yeah.
much," and point to the sign. So basically, the Dead Testaments,
Dead Testaments.
just
The
Dead Testaments. You don't
whatever.
need the
okay.
in there, the hard the. But anyway, yeah, we're what? Hey,
Hey.
good man.
Go check it out.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, that's going to wrap it up for the Hot Science Podcast. I want to thank all of our beautiful, lovely, intelligent,
Sexy. Can I say sexy?
ravishing,
Ravishing.
just, you open, it's like that when you open up the cereal box and it's just that
That
first,
first smell of cereal.
that just first whiff of cereal that you're like, man, I'm hungry. I'm going to put some milk in this
that's
bowl.
gonna be
I'm going
good.
to eat me some cereal. Like, that's who's listening to our
that first,
podcast
that,
right now.
that sugar puff in your face.
I
that-
love you. I love you. And if I meet you, I'll tell you that.
Don't promise that.
I might not mean it. I don't have to mean it. Anyway, guys, thank you for everybody that wants to support us. If you do want to support us, if you want to be a sponsor of this podcast, if you want to be somebody that wants to share what we're doing, you like what we're doing, and you want to get that out there, if you have any ideas that you think would make the show better, or you want to hear us talk about, then hit me up at hotsciencepodcast31@gmail.com. And send me an email. Let me know what you think about the show. You can also hit us on Twitter at Hot Science Pod. You can find us on Facebook at Hot Science.
Everywhere.
Like, share, whatever.
Whatever you want to do.
Just spread that love, baby. We're going to leave you with some beautiful musical silence. A little song called Under the Sun by the Dead Testaments. I love you, babies. Goodbye.
We lit out for the west, came back to the place where we began. Under the sun, under the sun. In caves we're all blind, sparks fly from tiny eyes, oh tiny eyes, into the sun. In the wall, a sound only winged things can hear. We struck out for the east, came back to the place where we began. Under the sun.